because it was a responsibility the Lord has given. And so, I think a huge paradigm shift is needed. God is not looking for leaders who are willing to be servants. He's looking for servants who are willing to lead. Huge paradigm shift. And if we understand God is looking for servants who are willing to lead, then our leadership will be beyond the horizon. There are three kinds of leadership very quickly. There is there is a short of horizon leadership, at the horizon leadership, and beyond the horizon leadership. When we don't have vision, when we are going through the motion in leadership, when we lose heart and we are just going through the routine, we are leading short of the horizon. When we are visionaries and we want to accomplish certain things in our leadership and we are leading with the goals and the vision we project, we are leading at the horizon. Spiritual leadership is leading beyond the horizon. If you've got a clear day and you look at the horizon is the horizon. We cannot look beyond the horizon. If you have the most powerful binoculars, with the most powerful binoculars in an open sea, you will see exactly that, the horizon. Why? Because the earth in its curvature, where the ship is in the open sea, you cannot see beyond the horizon as a limit. The only way the captain of the ship can see beyond the horizon is not get a more powerful pair of binoculars. It is to go to the radar. When he switches on the radar, he zoom in. I don't know about now, but during my time out in the open sea as a naval officer, he zoomed in to 48 kilometers. With the radar, we can see beyond the horizon. Spiritual leadership is like that. Spiritual leadership is when we come to God and allow His spiritual radar to help us see beyond the horizon. And when He does that, He takes us beyond our comfort zone. He calls us to places we don't want to do things we don't want to do, with resources we don't have, with time we don't have, and He says just do it beyond the horizon. And I've learned if we are servants with leadership responsibility, we will say, yes, Lord, I am a servant. And if we can adopt this paradigm shift, I'm not a leader learning to be a servant or wanting to be a servant or called to be a servant. I am a servant given the responsibility and called to leadership. Then as a servant, I must go to the radar and lead beyond the horizon. That's at the heart of leadership. So the test of spiritual leadership is prayer. Because it is in prayer that our spiritual radars are being tuned up and fired. And that's why when I see the ministry of Jesus, His entire ministry was bound up in prayer. Because with His purity of heart, His wisdom, and His leadership, if He led without prayer, He would have a very powerful pair of binoculars. He will lead at the horizon. But it is in prayer where the Father took Him beyond the horizon. And so we have to learn from a master, a servant who is willing to go beyond the horizon and go beyond our status quo. If I don't resign as senior pastor of Covenant, I have a pretty good life. I have a pretty good team. The church has already given me at that time like 50 or 60% of my time to minister outside of Covenant. I have a great board. The board-pastor relationship is just superb. I have a wonderful church. So if I don't resign, I can cruise along and do pretty well. Now, I work harder than when I'm senior pastor of Covenant. And work with churches with all sizes. From churches like 40,000, 70,000 to churches 156. And same call to go make disciples. So at the end of the day, that's leadership. Is coming out of our comfort zone because God has taken us beyond our horizon. I must say one more thing. Beyond the horizon is not do big things or great things. It's do God things. If the Lord one day tell me, sit down, keep quiet, and don't do anything, just mentor a few, I'll be really happy to do that. So beyond the horizon does not necessarily mean do big things for God. The question is, are we willing to do whatever he says?